extra boost in school? Are they in elementary school and looking to improve self-confidence? Or in high school hoping to raise their grades to get into the college of their dreams?
It is the We Are You Morning Crew, and a little little difficulty there. For a second, Amundo, I am George Daigle in the studio by myself, bringing you the sizzling subjects and the trending topics this morning. Now, if you had the opportunity to see Cynthia Erivo in Aretha Genius, then I was really amazed by the movie. Some people were disappointed. Some people didn't think she looked enough like her. A lot of people didn't think she sounded enough like her. I watched it for the story, and I learned a lot about that woman's life and a lot of stuff that she had to overcome. A lot of men who were dominating in her life, in the industry that she worked in, and in her personal life, and having to overcome all of that to become the queen of soul says a lot. Now, as we are moving forward in looking at her life, and a lot of stuff was revealed in that. One of the things that came up and kept coming up was who was the father of the first child that she had. Who was that? And recently, as previously reported, 8 months after her death, Aretha Franklin had 3 handwritten wills, and they were all found in her suburban Detroit home. So already that was a big problem. Now, at the time of her death, in August, she died of pancreatic cancer. Lawyers and family members said the Queen of Soul had no will, but 3 handwritten versions were reportedly discovered. Now, Bennett filed the wills on Monday, despite not being certain if they are legal under Michigan law. Now the estate and family members want a judge to make it make sense. Now, it's really written, horrible penmanship, obviously, and she was making scratch notes on the note. You'll be able to see it after I post it online. But in the wills, they were discovered back on May the 3rd. 2 in a locked closet for which the key was only recently located, and 1 in a spiral notebook stuffed under cushions on a sofa. Now, the 16 pages reportedly revealed that Franklin was all about making sure her sons were treated fairly. Several times across all 3 documents, she writes that her assets should go equally to her 3 younger sons and outlines detailed instructions for the care of her eldest son, Clarence, who was born in 1955 when Aretha was just 12 years old. Now, of course, he's a special needs child, and they have never been publicly disclosed. Clarence Franklin's father has been reported to have been a man named Donald Burke, who was a schoolmate of the singers. Not according to one of the purported wills dated on June 21st, it said Clarence's father is Edward Jordan Sr. So already we have 2 different stories already. This sounds like a Maury Povich episode. Nonetheless, he is also the father of one of Aretha Franklin's other sons. Now, in other pages of the will, it includes the adamant declaration as part of instructions for Clarence Franklin's care. His father, Edward Jordan Sr., should never receive or handle any money or property belonging to Clarence, or that Clarence receives, as he has never been made any contribution to his welfare, future or past, monetarily, materially, spiritually, or etc. So basically, Aretha said, don't give that Negro none of that money. He ain't earned none of that money. He wasn't there for him. Don't you give him none of that money. Well, she probably said, don't you give him none of that money. I'm not playing with y'all today, because that's how she talked. So this all came out shortly after her death, and they're still contesting the will, as it has so many different levels, and 2 different men named as the father of Clarence, which is what a lot of people were trying to figure out after they saw that Aretha Genius special. So Edward Jordan Sr. seems to be who the father of Clarence is. So there you have it. The mystery is solved, because y'all messy and y'all wanted to know. So now you know. In another story today, ladies and gentlemen, a white supremacist has pleaded guilty to beating a black teen in his mouth with a bicycle lock, stemming from a racist encounter at a Michigan beach last June. A 43-year-old white man admitted he carried out the violent crime specifically because the teenager, Devin Freelon Jr., was black. Now, Muat's guilty plea comes as hate crimes across the country have been growing. Muat pleaded guilty on Wednesday, and he now faces up to 10 years in prison. As previously reported, Muat was charged by federal prosecutors with a hate crime for willfully causing bodily injury to an African-American teenager because of the teenager's race. But the devil was in the details, as Muat was also accused of repeatedly calling a group of black teens the N-word before retrieving a bike lock from his car and using it to hit Freelon, breaking his jaw and knocking out several teeth, all because they allegedly would not turn down the music they were playing on a portable speaker. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, the criminal complaint claimed that Muat confronted Freelon and two of his friends in a parking lot. After telling them Black lives don't matter, Muat set out to prove himself right. And he said, and I quote, "Niggers don't belong on this beach." The complaint claims that Muat said while Freelon retrieved a portable speaker from a vehicle, yelled racial slurs at his two friends who were African-American teenagers. And as Freelon walked over to his friends with the portable speaker, he noticed Muat walking quickly towards him. Muat swung an object which struck Freelon in the face. One witness claims that Muat continued to throw racial slurs at him and called them the N-word, and that was it. That was the entire story. And 10 years is what he faces. I think it should be more. I think it should be a lot more, because he could have killed that man, and I think that was his intent, to kill him. He just didn't succeed. And I think somebody like that, if provoked, will do it again. 10 years is not enough. But tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen, about this story and all the stories we talk about today. Because you know what we do. I'd love to know what you think, and I'd love to know what you want to say about the story. So you can use the shout-out feature on the We Are You Radio app. You can call me at 678-839-9378, or you can respond on our social media pages. I've got one more segment of Sizzling Subjects and Trending Topics. So make sure you keep it where you got it. I am George Daigle. Good morning.